Hi. Might as well get started, right? Oh, yeah, I didn't let anybody know that I'm going live. Maybe I could tag a few people, see if that helps. Yeah, so if you're coming on here, just say hi. I'm just getting started here. Inviting a few people. I thought, you know what? Why not express my heart in some way, in some degree? Yeah. I don't know what's gonna come for us, honestly. It's like, what am I doing? Why am I going live on this subject? I don't know. I just am, I guess. So, see what happens. Ah, hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Good to see that somebody is joining me. However long you can stay. I'm not sure if you even tagged you, but you found me. That's awesome. Yeah. So, how's life for everybody, huh? Haven't been live for so long, I'm almost nervous again. Yeah. But the topic came, so I thought, okay, if a topic is in my mind, then that means something else will flow forward. So I just want to invite Holy Spirit even now to just speak forth whatever is on her heart and just to bless people, to give me a chance to express myself and let other people get a glimpse into my life. Yeah. So I entitled this live stream Shared Life. It's something that we hear discussed at times, that we want to share life with others, we want to lay our lives down for others, we want to be in the flow, and instead of in a 9-to-5 job, or in our comfort zone, living in the old familiar where we've been, forever, as the expression goes. So there's times that we talk about shared life. And so, as a lot of you know, I'm living at Daniel and Dominique Love at the present moment. I was here 2 months in the fall, then went home for a month, got rid of my car and my other belongings, and then came back here again end of January. So I'm here for a good month again now. And so the interesting thing that came to mind after I was here the first time was that the only way that shared life is going to work is if everybody takes responsibility for their own actions, for their own life, as it were, for their own thought patterns, for their own life, for their own triggers, I guess. Because after I had left here, or even probably before I left here, the thought had come to me whether how Dom feels, whether there's areas that I should do differently so that life is more easy for her. But then I also remembered that both of Daniel and Dominique are living with, and myself as well to some degree, with the thought that whatever, that I am responsible for, if I don't like what somebody's doing, that's on me. That's on me. If I'm not comfortable with what somebody else is doing, the first thing to do is to go inside, to check my own heart, to see, because very possibly there's something going on in my own life, that my own heart, that is being revealed through the other person. And if that is so, then I have the opportunity to change my own attitude, to change my heart. It's almost like the universe or God or the Holy Spirit is bringing to the surface something that needs to be dealt with or desires to be dealt with in my heart. And so it's beautiful to realize that what somebody else is doing does not have the power to hurt me, to anger me, if you will. What somebody else does or doesn't do might be bringing something up in me, and therefore I respond or react in that way, but it was not them per se that made me do it. I chose, I responded. I am responsible for my own actions, from whatever I do, whatever thoughts that come to me. I can just release them. I don't have to, cling to them and evaluate them and meditate on them and to see whether they're good or not. The thing that I have the opportunity to let it go, and so the other person does not have the ability, the power to anger me, unless I allow them to anger me, unless I allow that anger within me to rise up. And so I recognize that the only way that shared life is going to be working in a beautiful way is as we let go of blame and shame. Blaming the other. Okay, you did this to me, or it's your fault. Those kinds of attitudes and judgment, those kinds of attitude will not be a blessing for anybody in shared life. And so it's been interesting. The Holy Spirit has shown me that I have been sharing life most of my life. I grew up in a large family. There was 11 of us kids, parents, 11 of us kids, and then we had hired help at time. And so we were sharing life. And then in my teenage years, up until higher 20s, I was living in other homes, helping, or actually in my teen years, I was living in other homes to help those parents with young families. So I was sharing life with them. And then I was teaching school in the parochial school system for a season. And so then I was living with other people as I was boarding there. So I was again sharing life with them. And then for a season I was helping elderly. I was living in with them. So I was sharing life with them. But what the Holy Spirit showed to me is that this is the first season that I am in love with myself, that I'm loving myself as I'm sharing life. I'm loving myself as I'm sharing life. And so instead of just even receiving blame from others, the Spirit of God is teaching me to love myself unconditionally, to love myself, and then out of that love for myself flows love for others. And so it's been very interesting, this journey of shared life, to be free to observe, to see with our eyes, to notice what's going on, and yet not to be judging, not to be criticizing, not to be blaming, condemning. And so the Spirit has done a lot of cleansing in my heart in the line of letting go of judgment, letting go of critiquing how others are living their lives. And so I'm stepping into more freedom in being myself, in loving myself. I'm more free to love myself and to be okay with where I'm at. And then out of that love for myself will flow the love for others. And so shared life in a sense is beautiful. It's not exactly easy to the natural mind. It's often our minds that are our greatest enemies, you know. It's not exactly easy to our natural minds because it wasn't, or even our natural senses at times, because things aren't always done the way we would imagine that would be beautiful or that we think it should be, perhaps, you know. But those shoulds and, well, my way is the only way or the right way, those need to go, you know. Those aren't bringing fruit. Those aren't really bringing more joy into my life and more peace into my heart and more contentment. And so a lot of it is to, as was said, love myself, accept myself, and to not blame the others and not to receive blame. And then out of that flows love for those around me. And it's like I desire to do things for them, right? I desire to play with the kids, take them to the park, go for walks, and so on, and just simply spend time with them instead of just being by myself. And there's times that, you know, I might not follow their same pattern. I might do things in a different order than they do, because I have the freedom to be myself. I have the freedom to be who I am. But I have the opportunity to experience their expressions as we come and go, as we interact, and just simply being in the same space. So yeah, I just wanted to, it's not that I had in mind to do a long live stream this time, just had a desire to express my heart about the beauty of shared life, but as was mentioned, that the only way that I can see that shared life is going to work on a long run is as each person takes responsibility for their own triggers, their own thinking, their own reality, instead of pressing it on other people, blaming other people. And so, yeah, it is so beautiful to be with others and to experience life with those around me. And so this, I believe, is just for a season, and like that I'm here. And so I just desire to embrace every possibility, every growing experience that I have here. And so, yeah, I'm definitely already being stretched in different areas, because this past week I was at another friend's for a few days, and I expect to be there again this coming week perhaps, and help in their home for a few times, like a few days a week. And so, yeah, it's so beautiful. And here even I'm taking more responsibility, not because I have to, but because I desire to, because it's my home, right? This is where I'm living, so I desire to help with the cleaning, you know, to help with the cooking, and just to be part of be part of what's going on here. And so, yeah, wherever you're at, whether you're living by yourself in an apartment as I was, that was a season that I needed to go through, or that I sensed it was beautiful for me to go through, to experience the life, just to start coming to be okay with being myself. And so now here I'm spreading out in that even more, and learning to be okay with who I am. So yeah, I think I'll more or less leave it at that for this time. Thank you, Kathy, Jackie, and Kayla. Thank you for all of you for hopping on, and I just bless each one of you, and I bless everyone who will be watching the replay. I love each of my friends, and I would just say that my life has expanded, my horizons have expanded so much since I stepped out of my comfort zone, since I stepped out of Canada. I could have probably done it up in Canada somewhere too, but this was the direction the Holy Spirit was leading. And as we all know, Life unfolds the most beautiful as we yield to what the Spirit of God is leading us into. Because God, the universe, knows us better than we ourselves know. They know what we are, or what we're ready for, and what is a blessing for us, and also where we will be a blessing. Because that's another thing I'm learning very much about, the blessing that I am to others, to recognize the value that I am to others, that to recognize the value of me being in a home, of living here, of living in other homes, because that brings my presence, my expression into their lives. And we need each other. We need what each other, what we carry, what other person carries. And so, yes, shared life is beautiful. It often brings out stuff in ourselves that we're ready to let go of, ready to be exposed, so we can deal with it and let it go, so that more freedom, more joy, more peace, more delight can be our portion, and thus affecting the world around us, affecting the atmosphere around us, loving the people we connect with, and just being who we are. So I bless each one of you, and I encourage each one of you to be content where you're at, and trust the Holy Spirit, trust the Father, trust the universe to open the way wherever He desires to lead you on. I bless you. I love you. Goodbye for now. Until next time.